Yes, I've got a car.
Damon enjoyed the deflated expression on Jenny's face. It hadn't gone unnoticed that she had looked down her nose at him and hadn't even said hello to his mother.
Oh.
Caught off guard, Jenny recovered her composure.
Good. Pick us up at 8 then?
She fluttered her false eyelashes flirtatiously, then looked between son and mother for any unspoken signs giving away the truth of the situation.
I guess we'll see what you turn up in then. What's it gonna cost your mother this time to save your embarrassment?
She thought. Any regret Damon might have felt at having rejected her high school declaration of love was extinguished by such a show. As he watched her leave, his mother asked,
"Why did you say that? You don't have a car. Where are you going to find the money to get one?"
Esther could understand her son wanting to show off in front of an attractive woman, but thought he had more sense than to promise something he must know the family couldn't afford. Damon hadn't told his mother he could afford any number of cars. She would be mortified if she knew how rich he was. He wasn't about to take that risk.
Did you see the way she looked at us? It was obvious she only invited me along to humiliate me in front of the old crowd. Don't worry, one of my friends at the university has a car I can borrow. I've done it before.
Esther breathed a sigh of relief.
"Just make sure to take good care of it. We can't afford to pay for any repairs."
All right, Mom.
Damon gave a lopsided grin. While Esther put away the grocery shopping, he started scrolling through the online car listings. He dismissed the idea of asking Thomas for help.
He'd fix me up with a luxury car, but that's not what I need for this.
While he was still searching for something suitable, a message came through from Jenny.
Are you still on for picking us up at 8 o'clock this evening?
He quickly typed and sent his reply.
How many of you guys are going?
His eyes widened as the response appeared on screen.
There are 6 of us meeting at mine. Will that be okay?
6?
He hadn't expected that many. The cars he had been looking at would only seat 5.
Oh well.
He thought.
Okay.
He messaged back. Damon altered his search criteria and soon found what he was looking for. It still felt weird to him, being able to buy a car at the click of a button. Until recently, he couldn't even afford to hire a taxi, yet he had just paid extra to have the vehicle delivered and hadn't batted an eyelid.
"You've gotten a bargain there,"
said the sales rep as she patted the bonnet after handing over the keys.
"The previous owner needed the money urgently."
When the sale had gone through, she hadn't expected to be delivering the car to such a rough neighborhood, and certainly not to someone who looked like a university student. Damon took it out for a spin and was satisfied with his choice. Pulling up outside his mother's house, he heard a text message alert. Retrieving his cell from his back pocket, he saw it was another message from Jenny.
When do you think you'll get here? We're all ready, and we'll call for a ride if you're not coming.
I knew she didn't believe me.
Thought Damon.
I'm on my way. With you in 10 minutes.
He texted back. As the message came through, Jenny thought she must have misread it. She looked round at her buddies, all dressed up for a night out. Her closest friends among them, Kylie Montez, Amber Lean, Rosie Kenzel, and Camilla Gonti, were impatiently tapping their professionally manicured nails. She raised her eyebrows and shrugged.
He says he's on his way.
You've got to be kidding. His family never had enough money for anything while we were in school. And everyone knows his mom had to undergo a clinical trial to pay for him to go to university. How has he suddenly gotten a car?
Come on, Jenny.
Added Amber.
We're going to be late. Can't you just get your rich boyfriend to give us a lift? You've told us so much about his expensive car. I'd love a ride in that. We could take selfies. They'd look great on our socials.
Jenny flushed with pride. She enjoyed the reflected glory that came with having such a successful boyfriend.
Okay, I'll ask Carl to come over.
She said, calling him on her cell. Around her, her friends squealed with renewed excitement for their night out.
Yay! Finally, we get to travel in style. I can't believe you get to ride in that car anytime you want. You're so lucky.
One friend stood apart from the group. Gabriella Swan had likewise refused to join in with the gleefully mocking responses to Jenny's message on the group chat earlier, when she had described meeting Damon and his his mother. Gabriella had been good friends with Damon in high school and had refused to bend to Jenny's demand that her friends give him the cold shoulder for turning her down. She despised gossip, preferring to make up her own mind about people and take them as she found them. Although she hadn't kept in contact with Damon after graduation, the damage to her bond with the other girls had been done. She sometimes wondered whether that was all that kept the others together, talking about her behind her back, and sometimes right in front of her. Jenny's cell buzzed twice in quick succession, making her jump.
Guess what?
She shrieked, throwing back her head.
They're both going to be arriving at the same time. Let's take bets on how much better Carl's car will be than whatever Damon turns up in. What do you think?
Kylie laughed.
Do you even have to ask? Carl's car must have cost $30,000.
At least.
Jenny cut in.
Damon couldn't scrape that much together if he sold everything his family had.
Kylie continued, to the delighted cackling of the others.
His poor mother must be working extra shifts so he could afford this.
Cooed Camilla.
Imagine doing that just so her son could show off in front of you, Jenny. I wonder what he got. She's right. No one's ever done that for me. Do you think he feels at all guilty for making his poor mother work that hard for him?
Amber mocked. Gabriella couldn't stay out of it any longer.
Stop it! Just listen to yourselves. You started this. You asked him to come and pick us up. Now he's on his way, and all you can do is insult him. Leave him alone. What do you even know about him? You didn't have anything to do with him after graduation. Things could be completely different for him now.
The room went quiet, save for some shuffling of feet. Jenny looked down at her cell, scrolled to the group chat, and sent a laughing emoji. At the collective buzz of her message being delivered, the other four checked their cells and giggled.
Different? I don't think so. I saw him out grocery shopping, remember? With his mom, for heaven's sake. You should have seen what he was wearing. And as for him doing this to impress me,
Jenny said as she looked up sharply.
he has stiff competition. My Carl is 10 times the man Damon could ever be. I had a lucky escape when he turned me down. That's for sure. You're right about that, tell you what.
Camilla said, looking straight at Gabriella.
Well, since you think so highly of him, why don't you go with Damon in whatever cheap ride he turns up in?
Gabriella didn't bother to point out that she had a car of her own. She had learned long ago that it was pointless to try to reason with that crowd.
I'm happy to do that. He's already on his way, after all.
A message flashed up on Jenny's cell.
Damon's here.
She announced to the room before scurrying out to see what car he was driving. Camilla followed, with the others hot on her heels, and Gabriella bringing up the rear.
Where is he? I can't see any cars outside.
Me neither.
Said Amber, frowning.
There's only that van across the street.
Rosie stood on tiptoes, trying to see the van, pushing her way forward and squinting for a better view. She let out a snicker.
That's him. He's in the van.
The others immediately switched their attention from looking along the street. As they recognized the driver, they joined in the derisive laughter, exchanging mocking comments.
I should have guessed.
Oh, he's always been such a loser.
Is that his idea of how to impress a girl?
Jenny whipped out her cell and snapped some photos of the van, making sure to get Damon in the shot. She then searched online to see how much the van had sold for.
You'll never guess. $10,000 for a second-hand van.
Gabriella's eyes lit up. Life really was full of twists and turns.
It can't have been easy for him.
She thought. Damon got out of the van and approached the group.
Are you ready to go?
He asked.
In that thing?
Jenny scoffed.
Are you kidding? Look at us. We're not going anywhere near that stinky, grubby old van. Anyway, my boyfriend is going to be here any second with his expensive car. So I'll be going with him. Thank you very much.
There was a chorus of agreement from Jenny's clique. Damon raised his eyes to the sky and sighed.
There's just no pleasing some people.
He mused. He had been asked to give a lift to 6 people, and there was a vehicle with seats for them all.
And if they wanted something expensive, I spent $10,000 on this. Isn't that enough?
He thought. Jenny snorted and turned away, leading the others to wait for Carl's arrival. Damon was nonplussed.
I'll happily take up your offer of a lift if it's still on. Forget them. I know where we're going.